What is the largest possible explosion in Minecraft? Well, it's not this or anything like this. It's actually something you wouldn't expect to see. Well, first of all, let's set some ground rules. It should be able to be done in vanilla, but it also needs to be a short explosion. Super long explosions aren't really powerful because the explosion takes so long to exert the power. It also can't be too big because while yes, an explosion can be huge, the power of the explosion is reduced by the size. In fact, according to the Minecraft wiki, explosions with a power greater than 100 look mostly the same from the outside, as only certain lines are used to determine if a block breaks. But wait, what are lines? Okay, so we all know that one TNT creates a blast radius of 6.9 blocks. I'm not kidding, that's the real number. And the reason for this is that the explosion emits rays of power from the TNT center point, and that's how long the rays travel for. This is what the graph looks like for these rays. Trust me, I don't understand it either, but this can give us a ton of insight. For every 0.3 blocks along the lines, the intensity of the ray is reduced by 0.225. So after a while, the blast really has no power. So armed with this information, I decided to commit to a ton of experiments, and this is what I found. First of all, we want an explosion in which everything can be damaged, so we need a ton of power going out in every direction. The way this can be done is by creating a space in between two layers of TNT. So when the first one explodes, it shoots out the next ones. But now the issue is that they actually shoot out way too far. So if we get a block with a blast resistance of 0, then we aren't affecting the power, but we are keeping the TNT more tamed. The perfect block for this is actually the slime block with a blast resistance of exactly 0. We also want to be able to maximize the power by making our TNT more compact, but also spaced out. So we need to have a large amount of TNT to do this. But don't worry, this won't use anything that isn't super easy to get in vanilla Minecraft. Doing some more tests, I found that air blocks are actually our worst enemy because they reduce the explosion power by 0.75. So sadly, we can't have TNT shooting out light years. But this also helps us with the power anyways. And finally, after a million more tiny tests, I finally had the perfect, biggest, and most powerful explosion in Minecraft. But before I show you that, let me say something very quickly. There are so many TNT explosion videos on YouTube. Even Mr. Beast has made one before, but they all just made the biggest TNT explosion ever. And that made me realize something. Not only do people want to have a powerful explosion, but they also want a huge, gigantic one. Something I had been ignoring basically this whole video for the sake of math and science and everything behind it. So one last time, I went back to the drawing boards and I created a method that is not only the biggest and most powerful, but can be infinitely as big as you like. So there's no technical limit to how big the explosion can be. So now, after countless minutes of calculation, here's the explosion. So first thing you want to do is create a slime block cube with a minimum of 10 by 10 blocks. You can also use dirt with a blast resistance of 0.5, but expect a slightly smaller explosion. Next, rim the sand with a line of TNT. Skip a space and create another rim of TNT in the middle. Fill this rim's corner with 2 TNT blocks, and now make the cube up 10 blocks. This can be upscaled as much as you like for maximum destruction. So now it's ready to ignite. 3, 2, 1. And I think this dumb video might have paid off, at least a little.